Hello and good afternoon, LinkedIn Live team. My name's Jonathan Richards. We are live from Made Smarter. We're here today to talk to you about digital transformation and the benefits that can be gained from digital transformation with the Made Smarter program. I've been joined on the call today by my three esteemed colleagues, two of which are part of Made Smarter and a client. So if we could just do a little bit of introductions in a minute, we can go around the room. And for those of us joining us today, just to refresh a little bit, Made Smarter is a digital transformation program that's funded by UK government and delivered regionally across the UK. We're aimed at supporting SME manufacturing businesses in the Northwest, the West Midlands, East Midlands, the North, East and Yorkshire and Humber regions, with a view in 1 year's time for that programme to becoming more national, covering the rest of the regions, and the year after that in 26-27, the devolved nations as well. Typically, we help businesses that turn over less than 50 million euros or 38 million pounds, that have less than 250 employees. The businesses are usually privately owned and are a manufacturer. So from that criteria, we're looking then to support those organizations with grant funding for digital programs, skills and leadership training, and we support as well through interns, digital interns as part of offering. So if I can just do a couple of introductions, or get the team to do a couple of introductions after me. I am the head of marketing for Made Smarter in the Northwest. My name's Jonathan Richards, and I'm going to be your host over the next 30 minutes. My colleague Claire, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Claire Scott. I'm a technology adoption specialist. My background is in additive manufacturing. I've come from the aerospace industry, and I've been with the program since its launch back in back end of 2018. I've been here about 5 years, seeing it grow.
Excellent, thanks, Claire. Ian.
Yeah, good afternoon, all. I'm Ian Marshall, also a technology adoption specialist working in the same team as Claire. My background, I've kind of worked at corporate level in a number of different businesses. I've also, I think it does help, I've also managed and run my own SME company and seen it from that side. And I've also worked with several businesses on developing growth strategies, accessing finance, and developing their business futures, if you like. And also, as similar to Claire, I joined at the Made Smarter at the start of 2019. So I've also been there 5 years now.
Excellent. And again, Ian, I learned something new every time I talk to you. I had not realised that you'd run your own SME. Maybe we can talk about that separately, but it's great introduction there. And Tom, you're our client in this session for today. So first of all, thank you very much for sparing the time to join with us. Please explain to the audience who you are and what your business is about.
Yeah, cheers, Jonathan. So my name's Tom Fletcher. I'm the managing director at FirstPlay Dietary Foods. FirstPlay is my family business, and we manufacture foods for special medical purposes. So manufacture a really wide range of food products for people with inborn errors of metabolism, which we sell in the UK and to growing markets all around the world. We started working with Made Smarter in about 2021, and our growth's Made Smarter have been a huge part of our growth since then.
Great, thanks. And again, I'm sure the audience are keen to understand a little bit more from your perspective, in your words, of how you found the process of working with Made Smarter and the benefits that you've gained, and maybe touch on the technology, and we'll come to that shortly. But what I think I wanted to do just for the time being is probably just we're going to think of maybe two areas before we then touch on your experience, Tom. And that's the first one is is for Ian, really, and it's about the process at the very beginning of the client's digital journey, and our interactions and our meetings with them. So we're going to ask Ian a couple of questions about that. And I suppose just to think about it, digital transformation is not a destination, it's a journey, and it's ongoing, and we're only one stop in that overall process of your ongoing digital transformation as a company. But I think from Ian's perspective, I can just ask you to think about Made Smarter, and why do businesses first come to Made Smarter? What does that look and feel like from your perspective as an initial contact?
I think, well, initially we do have a lot of good outreach activity, and a lot of businesses are made aware of the program through a number of different channels. And I think sometimes when businesses come to us, it's a bit of curiosity. They might say, well, I've heard about this digital transformation, might sound a little bit daunting. What is it you can actually do for us? And I think probably at that stage, it's an opportunity then to kind of explain that really at its heart, our program is really focused on independent and impartial advice and guidance. And I think that really does help SME businesses. We aren't selling anything, and the program is fully funded. And so from that stage, it's helping a business kind of look at their current position and help them develop a digital journey. And we do this in step by step, because we do appreciate a lot SME businesses have a lot of competing priorities. And what we want to do is make sure that we're positioning what we do at the right stage and the right time for them.
So what are you looking to get out of those initial sort of conversations and calls with the client from our perspective? What are we trying to how are we trying to set this up, and what are we trying to explain to them? So
really at the most basic level, it's kind of assessing the suitability and the fit for Made Smarter, and ensuring that a business kind of understands what we do, how we operate, starting to gain an understanding of where a business is currently sitting on their digital journey. And every business, whether they think so or not, is at some point on a digital journey. So what we're trying to do there is help them develop that pathway and work with them as a team, and start to then set up the next stage of a process. And incidentally, I should just mention this as a bit of a plug. It's very, very easy to connect with Made Smarter. All you need really to do is visit the website. There are several links, and I'm sure we'll show them afterwards. To register via our website just takes a few minutes, and from that process onwards, our team, Claire and myself, will pick up that inquiry and develop it and start moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I think there is a wider team as well, not just. I mean, we're not covering the whole of the UK at this point. It's worthwhile pointing out that we're specifically around the Northwest on this call today, but there are. We've got a slightly bigger team, and there are other teams across all the other regions as well that can support from that perspective. I mean, from those sort of initial meetings, then Ian, and I think we call them a workshop. Others might road mapping, etc. Might be something that other teams use. I mean, what are you looking to do at that point? Now, how long does that sort of workshop take? Is it very erroneous? I mean, what does it look like from our perspective?
We call it a workshop session. We call it a digital workshop, if you like. And the idea of that is to make it very user-friendly and accessible to a client business. We really just ask a company to give us 2 hours of their time, and we'll come out and visit. And really, in a nutshell, what we're looking to do is listen to a group of participants from the company that probably will be engaged in exploring and adopting digital technology. And we are just looking to listen to current position, the challenges that businesses face, and then we are trying to identify technology opportunities in which we can make some recommendations for how they might wish to use them. And I would stress that we do make recommendations and we present that back to a business as a result of the workshop session in a report. We aren't there to tell a company how it should be run. We are there to make sure that those recommendations are appropriate and are relevant, and we can work with the business over a period of time. We're not restricted by hours like some previous programs may have been that companies might be aware of. So it's very open-ended, and I should just stress, and I'm sure it's the same with Claire, I'm still working with businesses now on and off from the very early days from 2019. And so just going back to the workshop, Jonathan, it results in a report. We present that back, and then that is usually the stage where we start looking into how we might implement some of those recommendations and take that forward.
Yeah, and I think from that report point of view, I suppose what we see is it's not an immediate. You don't need to act immediately once you get the report. And client businesses that we've worked with, as you say, may take a longer period of time before they come back to us because they might not actually be ready to engage or to start to deliver some of those recommendations. And I suppose that varies from business to business. Some will come on board quite quickly and we can deliver that project quite quickly. Other businesses might take 6, 8 months, a year or so before they come back to us. I suppose it all depends really on whether those businesses, as I said, are ready at that one particular time or whether other business priorities are more immediate. I mean, just if we bring you into some of this conversation, Claire, because again, you do a pretty similar role to Ian, but you're more of a technology expert, and you've got some background experience in certain technologies. So, I mean, when it comes to the technology side, should we just talk a little bit about what our offering might look like, and in your experience as an advisor, are there any particular areas of technology that seem to be the most the ones that are most prevalent in terms of the client businesses, in terms of what they might need to digitally transform?
Sure. I mean, from the workshop, as Ian was mentioning, we identify those opportunities, and the technologies can range from quite a few. And I think we've got a little slide that actually details the technologies. And this is looking at the split of those technologies. So data and systems integration, that could range from a ERP system, so an enterprise resource software, or shop floor data collection systems. So some businesses have trouble with understanding what's going on their shop floor, and it's a bit of a black hole. So a shop floor data collection system can help sort of give people insights as to how well the business is doing, and then identify areas where they can make improvements. You've also then got other technologies that come under the Industry 4 banner, but such as AI and cognitive computing, which is very much in the news at the moment. I think it's important to note that this is quite an advanced technology for most SMEs to look to adopt, and we tend to see very much trying to build a foundation for businesses so that they are then ready to adopt these more advanced or technologies or more cutting edge technologies that are out at the moment. When you are digitizing a business, for example, industrial cybersecurity is extremely important, because the more you digitize, the more you are opening yourself up to cybersecurity risks. So it is quite key for businesses to look more and more into that. We do have additive manufacturing. That's my background. It's also known as 3D printing. So we do cover that as well as augmented reality. So this is overlaying data into the real world, and virtual reality, which is bringing a virtual environment and displaying data or displaying computer models in a virtual environment, and the simulation of things. So this could be engineering simulation, or it could be process simulation. So some of the applications of that is engineering simulation can help with product design, and so decrease the design life cycle. So get your products to market quicker and faster. We also have the industrial Internet of Things there, which is essentially putting the sensors onto, for example, your machine, so you can record the data and send that back up into the cloud, so everyone can understand what the machines are doing, their downtime. You could then look into things such as predictive maintenance, and so extend the life of your machines in between maintenance cycles, so that you can be more productive. And that's essentially what the technology is there to do. It is a tool to help businesses do their work in a much better and a much smarter way. And then robotics and control automation. So those are the technologies.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, this is just our experience, and that list there that's just disappeared. There's 9 different technology areas, and it's interesting that you finish on robotics and automation and control, because I think that probably brings Tom into the conversation, which is, I'm sure we're all quite keen to hear some of a client's experience of working with Made Smarter, and those different splits of those different technologies probably communicate to the audience watching today that there's businesses are ready at different levels. So some businesses will want robotics, some businesses will want ERP systems. There isn't one technology that fits all. And I think that's the beauty of the program and working with us. So, Tom, if I can just bring you into this conversation, and can you can chat a little bit. So how did you first start with Made Smarter? I mean, explain your process. Think about Ian and think about Claire. How did you first come into the Made Smarter world?
So initially, it was we were doing some collaboration with the sort of wider growth company, and we got sent through from that perspective, and very much what Ian said before. It was we did the workshop, and your colleagues Ruth and Will came in and did a workshop with us. It was very much it was something that I particularly appreciated about that, was that it was like Ian said, it wasn't an off the shelf thing. It wasn't a tick box sort of exercise. It was, they came in, they were physically in the building, they did a tour and looked at our processes, and then we had quite an open discussion about where we want to be as a business and how we can collaborate to improve.
Yeah, and your business in particular it's unique from my perspective. I don't use your products, but I mean, if you can just talk a little bit about your the organisation that you are MD for. What are you supplying? Who are you supplying them to? How's the working with Made Smarter help benefit you deliver your product and services to your customers?
So our customers are people with inborn errors of metabolism. Generally, the ratio of people who are affected are about 1 in 10,000 people in the UK, which varies throughout the world in various different incidence rates. In the UK, we're very lucky that all our products, or the vast majority, are reimbursed by the NHS, so they're available through prescription, which isn't the case. Isn't the case with all countries. So in essence, our customer in the UK is the NHS, and We export a lot throughout the world. North America is a really growing market for us. Some interesting new business in South America as well, the Middle East, and all through Europe. So it's the collaboration with Made Smart is, there was quite a lot of projects that when we sat down, we were like, oh, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And we ended up focusing on two of them, one of which was packing automation. So at that point, we were every single unit that left the building was packed by hand, which
Really?
was fine for the first 20, 25 years of the business. But we were getting to a point, there were opportunities presenting themselves, which we needed to make some changes to take on. So one of the projects was bringing in an automated packing line. That's taken us from probably packing 2 or 3 units of product a minute. That might be a unit of pasta, for example. So a 500-gram bag of low protein pasta. Maybe 2 or 3 a minute. With the new technology that we've brought in, we're looking 20, 25 a minute, depending on the variance of product. So it's a huge difference, obviously. And that's helped us obviously stock hold more products, which means we have more products available to deliver to customers quicker. So there's less. Our customers, they're not really in a position where they can go to the supermarket and get products. There's very, very few products that are available. So they really do rely on us to deliver quickly and deliver good products, which the collaboration for this project has really helped us with. So
that tangibly then, what was it that, I mean, because I don't think we actually funded the whole weighing solution. So we part funded it, didn't we? So,
yes.
What was it? I mean, I've read your case study, and again, just a little note for people on the call. We're going to drop in the link to the case study in the comments, so you can click on that and go into more detail on that yourself. But just so we supported you with which part of the weigh scale product, or
so to be fairly black and white, I don't think the project would have happened had we not had the match funding, because it would have been quite onerous for us as a business, because we've grown sort of 5% in turnover every year for 20 years. So any big projects like that is quite an onerous task, which it really helped me get it over the line, not only with the rest of the sort of board of directors, but also with my colleagues as well.
I mean, you're not. It's fair to say you're not a massive, because there's different sizes of SMEs, aren't you? From those with 200. You're probably. I'm going to load this question, but you're probably not at the 250 level employee category. You're probably nearer the 20.
15.
15, but okay. So what happened to the? Because from my understanding, you've got a manual process on the production line, which is limiting your growth potential as an organisation. You've changed. You've worked with a little bit with Made Smart, and we've helped support on that digital transformation journey to get a weigh scale product, which is fantastic, because you're going to avoid some inconsistencies there. But what's happened to the 2 or 3 people that were part of that manual process? What have you done with them? Are they still working with you?
Yeah, they're still working with us, and they've all been upskilled to run the new equipment, and it's been a really interesting change, I think, for our colleagues, because I mean I'm very lucky in my position that they were all on board with the change to start with, and it's not only has it helped us with, like I've just mentioned about our customers and our export customers, that we're able to deliver more product. In terms of the people that we have here, we've always, I believe, we've always had a good culture, but we've been able to upskill everyone working on that line. So people who were previously doing quite manual work are now running automated equipment. That's been able to help us justify increases in salaries, which ultimately led to us joining the Greater Manchester Good Employment Charter. So, and all the benefits that come with that, it's a great movement. And probably without the equipment that we brought in and the upskilling, we probably wouldn't have been in a position to be able to justify joining the charter, because of the stipulations that we would have previously struggled with. So, so it's been a huge benefit to obviously for the business and the customers, but it's been a huge benefit to everyone in house as well. And about 50, you mentioned sort of 2 or 3 people there that have been upskilled, but there's also as a result of the growth, been able to promote someone up to like a team leader role, which is a new role for the business. And our ops manager Faye, she's doing a lot of things differently now, so she's learning a lot more as a result of this. All as a knock-on effect.
Yeah,
all sorts.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm just conscious from a time point, but it's interesting you mentioned Faye. Then we're going to try and quickly leverage this in. But as part of Made Smarter's offering, obviously we've got technology that you've purchased and you're utilising and gaining a benefit from. But that's not the end of the story from dealing with Made Smarter, though, is it? And if you just wanted to allude to what Faye's now doing with Made Smarter, then we can just quickly touch on that.
Yeah, no worries. I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think really that we've these 2 sides to the support that we've had. That there's the funding for the automation, but the training aspect as well. So Faye's currently on a digital champions course. She came back. That was held at Amazon, and she came back last Wednesday after being on the course.
That's something that we run in conjunction with Manchester Metropolitan University, who help us deliver it. But we also do another level of course as well, don't we, through Made Smarter? So she's on that course, isn't she?
Yeah. And she came back last week and she was absolutely buzzing with how it went, and she had so many new ideas and met some different people, which is brilliant. And I've also done the leading digital transformations course as well, which has been very, very useful. Because from my perspective, I've always worked in my family business. I've done most jobs in the building, but I've not got much to bring into the business from previous work experience or sort of business education. So these sort of courses are really vital for someone like me who can pick up information and techniques and strategies and bring them back into the business.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad that she's gained some, or you as an organisation have gained some business in relation to that. Next month, and again, just conscious we're going to finish shortly, but next month Faye's appearing on this call as well, and we're going to delve into a little bit more about skills and leadership training and support. So that'll be the focus for next month. So hopefully we can capture some more comments from Faye next month. I mean, just trying to round off in the last couple of minutes then, Tom, before we close. From your point of view, what's next in terms of your growth? And looking at Made Smarter, can you see some additional benefits or other areas that you might want support from us or?
Yeah, absolutely. So as a result of what we've put in place already, we're starting to collect an awful lot of data, which is quite new to us. So we're hoping to really dig down into that data to make improvements from that perspective. Because obviously, as a smaller business a couple of years ago, and there's less than 7, 8, 9 of us, things were often done on hunches or feelings or I feel like this needs to change. Whereas now we can change that mindset slightly and think the data is suggesting that this change needs to happen. So the next step for us, I think, particularly in the next 12 months, is being able to analyse that data and use that in conjunction with new stock management systems and ERP systems, and hopefully upskill other members of the team as well on some of the other courses.
Yeah, good point. I mean, again, we could talk about this in depth for a much longer period than we've got today. And again, I'm trying to encourage the people that are watching this call live or on the record, which will be available on our website, is to look at Tom's case study on our website to find out a little bit more about the specifics. But is there any message just before we finish, Tom? We're going to finish on you here, really. But is there any message to the wider audience from SMEs out there that are watching this? I mean, what would you say to them? If they're worried or hesitant at this point of registering with Made Smarter?
Just don't be. We had the initial workshop. It took maybe an hour and a half, and it's for that our business looks an awful lot different than it did 2-3 years ago before we engaged with Made Smarter. So make sure you just at least do that. And as Ian said before, the support's not limited; it's always there. And I think you captured us at a good time in our journey where we were ready to adopt an awful lot of change. But even if a business isn't there yet, it's great to have that knowledge about changes or the support that you guys can offer to enable change 6, 12, 18 months down the line.
Yeah, and I think that's great, Tom. I think it's a message that the audience should well receive that from your perspective, from what you've just said. And I think it's also useful as well to point out it's the wider network opportunity that you guys get. And of course, Faye have been on the course there, and we'll be interacting with lots of other businesses that have gone through that similar journey and have those similar sort of battle scars that you guys have had. So there's a wider networking opportunity as well to be gained from this. And ultimately, if at the end of the day we can't support you at this particular juncture, we'll signpost you to other programs where we can support you, or we will wait for you guys as a business to become ready for that project that we've identified as part of the workshop. And again, just to finish off, the workshop doesn't cost anything. It costs our time, but we're free to give that. Ian and Claire and the wider team are more than happy to have those conversations with businesses. So I suppose we just finish at that point for thanking everybody for coming on the call today. Appreciate your taking the time to watch us in this LinkedIn Live. You can find out more about the Made Smarter program on this page here on the links. And if you're sitting there on your laptop at the moment, grab your phone, take a quick snap of that, and look at the website for more information relating to our program. That's the end of the call for today. We hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, feel free to message or send them through later. And again, look at putting in your diary on the 13th of March for the next session, when hopefully we'll be joined by Faye to talk about the digital transformation skills and leadership program that she's been on with Made Smarter. Ian, Claire, Tom, thank you very much for your time today, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for joining us, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.